Sripad Srivallabha Charitamratam, Chapter 37. The description of Chinnamasti Devi. We took leave of Bangaraya and Bangaramma and continued our journey, taking the leather sandals of Sripada given to us by the couple. We passed through a forest area and took rest under a banyan tree. Some group of yoginis came there. On seeing us, they said, "This is a time of great distress. You are not worthy of coming to this area. We worship Chinnamasti Devi here. She is of a very secretive nature. The entry of males to this area is forbidden. In addition, this is a divine land. Those who come here will not go out alive." On hearing these words, we felt as if our life forces were gone. Then a very brilliant yogini mother came there. Her eyes were like burning coals. Group of yoginis who accompanied her bought Chinnamasti Devi idol in a small basket. Then the yogini mother said, "Anyhow, these people have come here. Give them saris and bodies." Following her instruction, the yoginis gave us saris. They threw our dresses into the fire lit up there. As soon as we wore the saris, changes took place in our bodies. Our masculine body features disappeared. Big breasts got formed on us. Even the gentle organs of the body underwent changes. Our bodies turned into a female bodies. Our nature changed into a female nature. Our voices also changed to be a female voices. The yogini groups gave us new names. They called me Shankaramma and Dharmagupta Dharmamma. We were given meat to eat and alcohol to drink. Disciplined worship of Chinnamasti. We heard about Marlapula, which moves as a man in the daytime and as a tiger during the night. But we did not guess, even in our dreams, that worships of deities like this exist, or that yoginis can change males into females by their mere will. Torches were lit, Ved dances causing awe and terror went on. Then the yogini mother said, "Kadamba is the lord of this changing world. The energy is called as Chinnamasti Devi. Growth and decay always continue in this world. When decay decreases, the level of growth increases. Then only Bhuvaneshwari Devi is manifested. Contrary to this, when the decay increases and the level of growth decreases, Chinnamasti Devi assumes importance. The form of that great mother is a high secret. Once the goddess Parvati went to the Mandakini river for a bath along with the companions. After the bath, she was troubled by hunger. Therefore, she became dark blue. At that time, her companions asked for food. She asked them to wait there for a while. After some time, they again asked for meals. She asked them to wait for some more time. This went on for 3 times. Then the Mahadevi served her head with her sword. 3 jets of blood spurted from her. The companions drank 2 jets while Devi drank the 3rd one. Devoted and disciplined worship of Chinnamasti during the dead of night will give very good results. She should be worshipped for victory over the enemies, for stopping enemies' hoardings, for conquering kingdom, and for the very difficult achievement of liberation. Directions are her clothes. The cycle of Yoni is in her navel. The 2 companions having Krishna, Tamas and Rakta, Rajas qualities will be with her always. In the language of yoga, staying alive even after cutting the head is a symbol of staying completely with the inner chamber of oneness. Chinnamasti is meditated upon in the Manipuraka center, the seat of fire. She is the goddess of worship for Hiranyakashipa. All this was strange and created fear in us. In the meanwhile, it became midnight and it was very much bustling with musical instruments, dances, songs and orchestra. The yogini wanted to sacrifice 2 good ladies. They thought it would be better to sacrifice us since we were readily available. They tied neem leaves to our necks. Big vermilion marks were put on our foreheads. They beheaded us with very sharp knives. When the blood stream was profusely flowing, the Yogini group drank that blood with pernicious tipness. Our heads and trunks were thrown away. Even then, we felt as if we were alive. The whole body had an excruciating burning sensation. We thought that we became the victims of the utmost dispensable and cruel sordid of this Yogini group. Then sleep overpowered us. In that dominant state, we saw an efficacy in a hazy form. As the efficacy came near us, it was experienced that the Yogini group faded and melted into the air. Our head and trunks were again rejoined. It was 2 or 3 ghadiyas from the dawn to break. We woke up from the sleep as usual. We had saris. Our feminine features started to disappear. Masculine features again began to increase in us. In the place of our clothes that were burnt last night, new clothes that would be worn by males were present there. After finishing a bath, we wore the new clothes. Then another traveler joined us. He said, "Sirs, what all you saw last night was a kind of yogic activity. This is the very secret yogic application. The female nature in your body has been purified. Both female and male natures will be there in everyone. Unless these two natures are purified, the yogic power from the universal consciousness will not flow into us. Once the natures are purified, power will flow from the universal consciousness into our bodies as much as needed. The soul has no distinction of male or female. That is the basis for these two natures and is also beyond both. By the mercy of Sripad Sri Vallabha, you receive the incomparable grace by the extraordinary yogic exercise of the Yogini group. The path of Sushumna, which cannot be opened without great difficulty, got opened to you. What more do you require? The reason for your extreme fortune is that the fact that the leather sandals of Sripada are with you. You got released from the consciousness of the bodies of skin and got connected to the consciousness flow of divinity. The sportive play of Sripada are known only to him. Here we come to end of Pada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, chapter 37. Om Sai Ram.